Charles Schwab is about to launch spot crypto trading in 12 months for 36 million clients. Is this gonna help Bitcoin to pump towards $240,000, or is this just another bullish trap shared exactly at resistance, and are we about to crash drastically together with the stock market towards a very low levels? I will reveal to you exactly what's gonna happen next with Bitcoin in this video. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Simon from Market Paradise. In the previous video I've shared with you that Bitcoin will start pushing through this resistance to the upside. As you can see, we are doing right now exactly that. One of the reasons was that we need to get rid of this over leveraged short positions. I've shared with you the liquidity heat map. As you can see, the positions are no longer there. We have got rid of them, right? Then I have shared with you also on ultra low time frame that we will start hitting these targets before reversing to the downside. As you can see, we are right now hitting the last one. As you can see, there was prior to the push to the upside one more crash with Paradise Family VIPs. We have been taking advantage of it. We have shorted very weak altcoin Drift. We have just taken the final take profit, ladies and gentlemen, and then we have started to move to the upside, right? And because we have been prepared for it, we have also opened our long position that we have just closed at target one. We have taken some profit, ladies and gentlemen, exactly at that point that I've shared with you in the previous video. And right now the question is, are we about to start crashing to the downside? As I have told you in the previous video, the market is changing all the time, so will we need to adjust, or everything is going based on our plan? Well, let's analyze. I will share with you an insights on every single time frame, ladies and gentlemen. We will start with ultra high time frame, and I will share with you if I believe this looks still bearish or we are right now turning. I will go very quickly through this time zone because in the previous video I have been in a big detail, so if you have not watched the previous video, make sure you go watch it after watching this one. Just very quickly, you know that we have finished the impulse higher, and right now we are completing the whole grand super cycle by a zigzag correction. If you are in our MCP free university, you know exactly how the super cycle and grand super cycle is forming. Thanks to the understanding of Elliott wave theory, we have been able to predict the bottom of this grand super cycle, and also we have been able to sell everything at $109,000. After that, we have started the A wave, and right now we are in the B wave, and I still believe that the C wave is about to take us lower, ladies and gentlemen. So this was the A wave, this is the B wave of a zigzag, and the zigzag is about to finish very soon, and we will be analyzing on a lower time frames when it's going to finish and if something is changing or everything is staying the same. If you have not watched the previous video that I have shared with you on January 30, where I'm breaking down the zigzag pattern in big detail, I'm staying in this time frame for almost the whole video, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want to learn more, go and watch it. Right now, from the ultra high time frame perspective, still nothing is bullish, everything is staying the same. The oscillators that we have been analyzing previously, and also the Elliott wave count, right? Weekly candle is closing in 3 days, 9 hours. If we will about to close above $93,000, that will decrease the bearish probabilities a little bit, because we will start shifting this resistance into a support. As you know from the previous videos, this is a structure previous support that we needed to retest on multiple tries before we finally broke through it, right? And saying that we just need one try right now, this one, and we can successfully break through it and create a new all-time high, new trend, is ridiculous a little bit. Something similar, if you have been around, happened right here. The candle looked something similar, and then we had a big reversal in an opposite direction, and the people that were not subscribed in this channel or in our Paradise Family VIP were very lost, right? We, on the other hand, we have caught exactly the bottom, and we have been riding this wave to the upside because we have been successfully able to recognize this as an ending diagonal and all the subwaves within. So if, however, the weekly candle will close above this resistance, it will be turned into a support, and that will decrease the probabilities of this pattern being a zigzag, right? But we are not there just yet, and even though if we would be closing the weekly candle above this and turning it into a support, we still have this huge resistance above us, right? The 1.61 Fibonacci retracement level, and until we can reclaim this one, we are still in a B wave formation, and we are about to go lower. So from the ultra high time frame perspective, we are also exactly at a huge VPVR resistance, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing is turning bullish at the moment, okay? Everything is same, the volume oscillators, etc. So let's quickly go through this price section. Let's zoom in and let's check out how how probable is it that we will start moving towards $100,000 or even create a new trend, and when this B wave is going to finish so we can finally start moving to the downside. So let's zoom in, ladies and gentlemen. Right now we are seeing a high time frame. For us, this is a daily chart. That means that every single candle that you are seeing right here is representing 24 hours of trading activity. Okay, in the previous video on this time frame we have been analyzing the fear and greed index, right? And this divergence that the fear didn't went up with the price, it created a divergence and it helped us to understand, okay, there is a high probability that we will start having a push to the upside, right? Because the fear and greed index, this orange line, didn't move to the upside, but the Bitcoin price already did, right? But because the crypto sentiment around the retail wasn't convinced, even as we saw being very bearish, right? That's why we had the liquidation pool right here. We knew that the price action is not being dragged to the upside by retail, but some bigger players, right? That increased the probability that we will continue, and that's why we have been able to hit these two targets that I have predicted for you in the previous video, and we will be talking about them in just a few minutes. So right now, how the fear and greed indicator looks like, if I share with you the 4-hour time frame, as you can see, we are already moving with the price. The greed is already increasing. I want to see it going up to 80, ladies and gentlemen, but this is really good. That means that the current price action to the upside is already convincing the crypto retail, right? That means like lots of people are buying right here into this resistance that I will be talking about in a minute, and that decreases the probabilities of a continuation higher, right? So on 4-hour time frame I want to see 80, and also very soon we are updating the daily time frame and I want to see some jump, big jump like we had right here to 80 as well. I don't want to see any divergence, and that will increase the probabilities that we will start having a reversal. You can check this with me, you can monitor that with me on our website mycryptoparadise.com. If you check right here in MCP memberships, you go down to MCP Insights and you can click this one and you can monitor that with me. It's a great indicator, and if you know how to read it, it can really improve your trading. So right now, back to Bitcoin, what can we really clearly see this is that we are at resistance, right? So these are the Fibonacci retracement levels, these two, and together with that we are also retesting the previous bottom of the secondary wave within the previous impulse that was creating the A wave lower in our zigzag formation, right? So the same way, after we are finished with this B formation, we will be able to analyze the C wave. As you know, I do believe that in our descending zigzag pattern on ultra high time frame chart, the C wave will finish at around $44,000, but the same way we can do it on high time frame in ascending zigzags, right? So I've already created this ascending channel, ladies and gentlemen, and as you know from the previous videos, we have already touched it on medium time frame for 2 times, ladies and gentlemen. We will be talking about this. If we will go closer and start retesting it one more time, there's a high probability that we will start breaking to the upside. So that is a bearish invalidation, ladies and gentlemen, but so far it doesn't look like it, because we will be analyzing also the subwaves, ladies and gentlemen. So first of all, you need to understand we are at resistances. We are already retested the channel once, right? Together with that, if we take a look at the volume, we are having a decline in volume, clearly divergence with the price action. That's bearish. That doesn't really support the idea that from here we are about to create some new trend to the upside, ladies and gentlemen, some nice reversal from the previous bearish price action. So it still seems like just a reactionary wave, which is a classic zigzag, right? So on the oscillator, what we can see on stochastic RSI is a clear bearish cross, and right now just a retest in an extremely overbought area. All right, previously when we have been here for the previous time, we have started crashing heavily, as you can see, bang, okay, very overbought right here as well, bang. After that we have went lower, but that's not all. Also, if we take a look at RSI, we can see a clear hidden bearish divergence, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because the price action is creating a lower high. So far the RSI is not only in overbought zone, but also is creating a bearish divergence, because we are having a higher high right here. And again, if you are on our website, you know exactly this is a classic bearish hidden divergence, very tricky, and it suggests that the momentum indicators are having momentum. So momentum is in the market, however the price action lacks to follow, right? The price action is not able to go as fast as the momentum indicator. That means somebody is holding the price down, somebody is distributing, right? So who is creating the price action to the upside? upside, it's basically with the highest probability driven by leverage, right? By retail, and that really doesn't support in 99% of cases the creation of a new trend, ladies and gentlemen. You want to see spot buying, just heavy spot buying, very low open interest, very low leverage involved in that movement, and the sentiment you want to keep seeing bearish, right? Like we have seen on a lower time frames on our fear and greed index, you want to see that during the whole trend. However, as you can see, the fear and greed index, the greed is going with the trend on the high time frame. If you take a look at this whole section, it's going with the trend. So most of the people already bought or are buying at the moment, okay? And if we take a look also at the MACD, we can see the momentum on MACD histogram is already declining, so this is bearish as well. And by the way, if you don't have the retail in the market in disbelief as you pushing the price to the upside or to the downside, then there is no one left to buy, right? So who is going to push this price action higher after we break through this resistance, okay? Most of the retail already is over leveraged, okay? Or keep buying as much as they can right here at the resistance. So after we break, who is gonna push the price higher? Not the current market participants. There would be needed some new money inflow in the market, and that is coming up with a low probability right now considering the war, the tariffs, and the upcoming recession, right? But that's not all. We can also understand when the whole zigzag pattern will finish by calculating the Elliott wave subwaves, all right? The price development price action basically. So we will zoom in inside of this C wave so we can have a better understanding of when this impulse in which this C wave is being formed is going to finish. So let's zoom in inside of our medium time frame, ladies and gentlemen. And firstly, let me show you that we are at the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level that we have calculated by analyzing the A wave, the higher degree A wave, right? So we are already extended. Next resistance is right here at that $100,000. I don't want to see it because we would go very close towards this channel, and that would increase the probability of overcoming this ascending trend line, ladies and gentlemen, but so far doesn't suggest that we are about to do so. However, if we will start forming some base above this resistance, it will turn into a support and it would increase the probabilities, and inside of Paradise VIP, again, we would adjust our swing trading strategy, our day trading strategy, etc. to make money on the next moves. So right now we are already having the two touches that are maximum allowed for this channeling analysis to be valid. If you take a look at our oscillators right here, the MACD indicator is already creating the bearish divergence. That's exactly what I have wanted to see in the previous videos. I have been updating you about it. As you can see, the price action is making higher highs, but on the lower time frames the momentum is already decreasing, all right? So this is one of the great opportunities for the bears to slowly start taking over. As you know, these divergences when the indicator is actually showing lower high are the strongest ones, okay? With the price making higher highs, indicator lower high, that's one of the strongest bearish divergence, ladies and gentlemen. And we can see it also on RSI. There is actually extended bearish divergence, as you can see, retesting that 0.70, which is going into overbought zone. And also right here on the 4-hour time frame, on the medium time frame, we can have a nice deep view on the subwaves, ladies and gentlemen. We can calculate the subwaves of the whole C wave, and thanks to that we can understand where the C wave is going to finish, okay? So as you know, the C wave is most of the times created by an impulse or an ending diagonal. It actually cannot be nothing else. So if I have a look at our educational article that you can view for free on our website mycryptoparadise.com, you can clearly see that the C wave motive mode on the current price action is progressing very nicely, and it's subdividing itself into 5 smaller waves, right? So let's calculate the subwave. So this was the first wave, second wave, third wave that was confirmed because we have went above this channel that is very classic for the third waves. Then a fourth wave, well, and then we started an extended fifth wave because the third wave wasn't extended. By the rule of Elliott wave theory, one of the waves of the impulse is usually extended, and right now it's the fifth one. Let's zoom in inside of the fifth one. Let's calculate the subwaves to understand where it's gonna finish. So right now we are looking at the 1-hour time frame, ladies and gentlemen. What can we see right here is the first wave of our impulse, because the fifth wave is also a motive mode wave. That means that it subdivides itself into 5 even smaller waves, and right now we are having extended fifth. This was the first wave, second wave, third wave, then we had a fourth wave, and right now we are finishing the fifth wave. So it's a fifth of the fifth, ladies and gentlemen. Very dangerous situation for the bulls. As you can see, we had a big prolonged correction inside of a fourth wave. This took extreme amount of energy from the whole trend, ladies and gentlemen. That is why I believe this fifth wave will not be extended, okay? And with the highest probability is going to finish very soon, and we will start to have a reversal to the downside. As you can see also on the liquidity map, if I find it right here, you can see if I refresh just on a daily view, there is $4 billion below us, ladies and gentlemen. Above us there is only like a $1 billion in liquidations. So already we have really got rid of most of the over leveraged short positions, and it's much more profitable for the Bitcoin whales to start reversing to the downside. So let's zoom in inside of this price section to understand how we have been creating the fourth wave and when the fifth wave is going to, with the highest probability, finish. So as you can see in the previous video, I've been sharing with you a contracting triangle. However, right now we have got an extended one. We are still created the fourth wave in a double three formation, ladies and gentlemen. So basically the W was a simple zigzag ABC that finished right here. Then we had a countervening wave X that is usually a zigzag or a flat. As you can see, it finished as a running flat right here. Well, and then we have the final wave Y that is often being a triangle, okay? And the triangle is either contracting or expanding and subdividing itself into 5 smaller waves. As you can see, we had exactly that, A, B, C, D, E. It finished right here exactly at our bottom of the secondary wave of that impulse, ladies and gentlemen. Something similar is happening right now, I believe, on the daily time frame. We will also finish this corrective mode wave at around the bottom of the secondary wave that, as you can see, finished right here, the bottom of the secondary wave of the previous impulse. So after that, ladies and gentlemen, we have started to go to the upside and we have started to create a new impulse, right? So this is the fifth wave, a mode wave, and if we analyze the price action, I can clearly see a first wave right here, a secondary right here, third it seems like finished right here, then a fourth in a flat, and now we are having the fifth that is already finished right here or finishing a final set of subwaves, ladies and gentlemen. So I believe we are ready for a correction from the ultra low time frame perspective as well. So as you know from the Paradise Symbol VIP signal that I have shared with you previously, we still have some targets above us, right? But they are just more for the possibility of getting lucky. I think this is a very low probability right now. That is why we have moved our stop loss to break even, and we are starting to gather more confirmations to understand, okay, we can start getting more aggressive into short positions. So what I want to see is clear confirmations, but as you can see, the target of the triangle right here, from the smallest part that was hit right here and from the widest part that is basically right here, is right now being hitting as well, and it's working so far quite well. This is also a Fibonacci retracement level from the widest part of our full corrective mode wave. As you can see, if I shift it towards this section, we are just right now hitting the 1.61 Fibonacci retracement level. So loads of confluences at this resistance target, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't believe a very clever idea is to open some new long positions. I do believe waiting for some confirmations from a bearish side to get aggressive into short positions and get on a bigger leverage in some short positions is the smartest idea right now to do. Focus on the price action, trade with a great tactic and a strategy, and I will see you again on Saturday to update you about the price action. Cheers!